Mr. Sase, we'll start with you. You were talking a little bit about the two NOAA satellites, but I understand that there's also been some problems with scheduling and management with these two satellites since 2007, when the Commerce IG issued a critical report. So is it really fair to blame the Sequester for the problems with these satellites?
These satellites are critical to our weather forecasting capability, which the Department takes very seriously. And we have worked very closely with the IG on the issues that they have brought up going forward, and we consider that a strong partnership.
Problem is, we've been struggling with these for a long time. I also understand that your staff told this committee that you'd be testifying here reluctantly because you don't think you're in a good position to describe DOC's sequestration impacts with certainty. So I want to ask you, are you aware of page 4 of the February 8th letter from Deputy Secretary Rebecca Blank to the Senate Appropriations Committee Chairman outlining some of the impacts of sequestration on the Department of Commerce?
Yes, I am.
Are you also aware that the letter referenced at least some of these sequester impacts as certain?
Yes.
But today you're still not able to give us a great degree of certainty. So what's changed between then and now?
When we responded to the chairwoman's letter in early February, we had a set of assumptions and set of estimates based on what the information we knew at that time. Since then, we've had several changes that occurred from the Sandy supplemental to the House CR to the Senate CR. Each of those required us to continually update our planning efforts.
All right. I am going to request that we enter that February 8th letter into the record, and without objection, so ordered. Mr. Young, let's talk a little bit about the USDA. One of my ongoing concerns is, and I mentioned it in my opening statement, that we're trying to make this as painful as possible on people, and I don't think that's appropriate coming out of the White House or the agencies. And I'm an old radio guy. Mr. Robbins can probably look up when I first got my FCC license, assuming their computers work. But y'all have spent in the past couple of years just a ton of money. A Hungry Pest campaign, $942,200 for a marketing campaign, and a Save Our Citrus campaigns. I've actually heard those PSAs. They spent $200,000 to produce some PSAs. Now, as an old radio guy, that's a lot of money to produce a PSA. I checked with the station I used to work for. They're running them for free. I'd like to, if y'all want to do some more, I'll do them for free in my office for you. It just seems like we ought to be able to find some of these savings in these contracts or in other areas without laying off some people. Don't you think we might be able to do that? There's also one on, the question here says, I'm supposed to ask you about a Smokey the Bear statute. Having heard the PSAs, I realize it's not Smokey the Bear, it's Smokey Bear. Do you think maybe we could save some money on this production?
Sir, I'm not specifically familiar with the items that you mentioned. However, I would note that most of those, the Smokey Bear item would be in the Forest Service. They are not projecting to have a furlough, and the others sound as though they may be in the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, and they also are not planning a furlough.
And I think in your testimony you said you had a 7% ability to move around those cuts. Why are we just getting to that now when we've known about sequestration for a year?
Yes, sir. The authority that we have is, it's called the Secretary's Interchange Authority, and it allows for the Secretary to transfer up to 7% from one account within an agency to another account within that same agency. It's not available to the Forest Service due to a proviso in the Interior Appropriations
Act. So would y'all be better off if we were to do a ag appropriations bill and get it through the Senate than operating under a CR?
It would provide more certainty, certainly, for operations.
All right, and let me get to Mr. Robbins before I'm out of time. You said the FCC, with a really tight budget, looks like you're probably going to be able to pull this off without furloughs. I applaud you for that and hope you can get it. When did y'all start planning for this?
So at the FCC, My team spends a lot of time, all the time, trying to make sure we're managing our budget well. So sequestration, which we knew passed back in 2011, we have been working hard to ensure that from hiring to contracts to every part of our budget that we're managing the funds that we've been given appropriately.
And so regardless of the OMB letter saying basically don't worry about sequestration, y'all followed my grandmother's advice and planned for the worst and hope for the best. All right, I see I'm out of time.